Yo, what up? Welcome to the channel. If you're new here, welcome. If you're not new here, well, welcome back. So, I'm just some guy, and we're making some more orange lemon juice. But um, yesterday, I hung out with somebody that I probably haven't talked to since like pre-COVID. And one of the things that I've been trying to do, at least lately, is well, for those of you who have followed me around for a while now, probably know that I went through like this phase where, especially like during COVID, even like a little bit before COVID, like I had a lot of bad things happen to me, and I just kind of shut down. And outside of like, internet game friends and stuff like that, I lost contact with a lot of people that I talked to, that were friends, short of like a couple of people, right? Um, well, one of the things that I've been trying to do lately is, I've been trying to like reopen like lines of communication with some of those people that, that I might not have talked to in a long time. And it wasn't necessarily their fault, it was a me thing. Like, I got really weird and awkward and hermity, and I didn't talk to anybody. Um, I didn't really respond to anyone because I just shut down and got like super depressed and just didn't, right? So yesterday, went out with a friend that I hadn't talked to in a really long time and had a really good time. It was good catching up, and I've been trying to do this more recently. I've been just like firing off messages to homies I haven't talked to in forever. Some of them don't respond, some do. It's one of those things where I'm like, if they don't respond, I get it. I haven't talked to this person in 6 years, 7 years, you know, and so, it's understandable. It's one of those things. Now, some people have responded, and that's good. I'm trying to make, like I said, I'm making an effort to like go out, eat, hang out, talk. One of the other things too that has been brought up is just like the difference between like talking to somebody like on Discord or online and actually sitting down with somebody and having like an actual conversation. By the way, it's kind of earlier in the day. That's why I haven't like my hair's all messy and I'm having my stuff. Now, one of the things that I've been doing is like I've been trying to like cut this like a little bit. So here's an orange review. So I had these oranges, right? These oranges were not great. Like I didn't get a whole lot of orange juice out of them. The sun-kissed oranges that I got the other day, these things produce tons of juice. They are super juicy. However, I noticed that because they're in a big 8-pound bag, like 3 or 4 of them out of the bag are just ruined. Like they're moldy, and it's hard to like tell when you're like going through and you're buying them that that they're gonna be that way, right? So usually now, keeping my same ratio, I'm getting like 2 glasses, and I like to put the water on here so it gets like the pulp and stuff that's kind of stuck up here into the thing. But anyways, so it's really a hard thing for me to do because I'm like, I'm trying to hit these people up, and I'm like, man, I don't even know how to like kick the conversation back off, right? It's like I haven't talked to this person in 5 years. Like, how do you start that conversation? Like, yo, dog, what's good, man? What have you been up to? You know, do you start with like, hey, sorry, I stopped talking to you? You know, like what's the appropriate like message to send, right? That's kind of where I get hung up on things. Thankfully for like some people, like Facebook still does the whole like, oh hey, it's your birthday, and then people that only ever interact with you on your birthday will say stuff on your timeline. And that's a pretty easy one. You know, like, hey, dude, hey, thanks for saying happy birthday. I know I haven't talked to you in, like, 6 years, but, like, what's good? So that wasn't too bad. That got me, like, a couple of people back in, oh, I forgot the other, man. See, this is what happens when I start yapping. I forgot to put the other, wait, I already cut two, did I cut 2 lemons up? I cut 1, 2, 3, 4. I only cut 1 lemon up. See, I'm yapping, and I'm not hitting my mixture right. That's fine. It's fine. But like, that's like I think one of the big struggles that I have and that I'm trying to get over is like, what's that initial message? And you gotta like prep yourself for somebody who like just doesn't respond, right? Like, it's no fault of theirs. And like I said, I understand, like, the non-response, like, especially if, like, you weren't really, like, the super best of friends, because, like, I had a whole lot of friends from, like, AnimeCon days that, like, when I was, like, director of security and stuff like that, like, were friends, but, like, we were con friends. And so there's not really, like, the heavy expectation of them to be like, oh, hey, dog. Except for Cobble. Cobble's always there. Good on you, Cobble. But, there's not really the huge expectation there of, like, hey, this person's going to respond to me. Oh, I just made a mess. I filled this up too much. Unfortunate. But, yeah, so that's one of the things that I'm trying to do. I'm trying to not go AI cyber psycho, and talking to people in real time is a lot better because, like, you get to add, like, voice inflection and, hand movements and all this other stuff that, like, really just kind of hammers home, like, maybe some of the things that you're talking about and stuff like that that you don't really get during text. Delicious. That was a little. Ooh, wow, those buttons were strong. Ooh. All right. Anyways, I'm awake now. But that's actually one of the things that we were talking about because my friend Ben, who I went out with yesterday, he was still going into the office like every so often. And we were talking about how, like, now that he's remote, he kind of misses going into the office. And I was like, yeah, I'm like, I haven't been in an office, like, outside of, like, some small situations, like, in, I don't know, 10, 12 years was, like, the last time I actually physically worked in an office. So, like, and I've had this conversation with some other people, too, is it's like, I don't get human interaction here. Like, it's real tough, So, like, I have to make it a point to, like, go out on the weekends to hang out with people because I don't have that physical, like, I'm in an office. And, like, sometimes people in an office will talk to you about things you just don't care about. But it's still a conversation, right? They might be yapping about, like, their kid's softball game or something. I don't particularly care, but it's a human interaction that I have. Because when you work from home, like, the only time anybody ever messages you is when they want or need something. Like, they're not messaging you on Slack because they want to know how your weekend was. You know what I mean? Like, that's just the reality of it. Now, me, I have done that before. I've messaged somebody on Slack and just been like, yo, dog, how was your weekend? You get up to anything good? And then they're like, well, what do you need? And I'm like, I need you to tell me how good your weekend was. And then, we talk about the weekend, and they're like, so did you actually need anything? And I'm like, no, I just wanted to check in, see how you're doing. People at least from my experiences, people really take that well, and it kind of like catches them off guard, right? So that's like a thing I like to do every so often to people that, you know, I actually genuinely want to like build some sort of friendship with. But like when you're in an office, sure, people will come over and be like, hey, I need this report or whatever. But they'll also probably yap to you about something. You know, maybe you yap with people during lunch, but there's that real in person communication that you just don't get through text. So it's definitely been good to get out on the weekends, hang out with somebody other than my mom. Because my mom is much like me, where she'll tell me the same story over and over and over again, and then I'll tell Jonas the same story over and over and over again. Um, you know, and it is what it is. One thing, though, that I think we also lose by working at home and not having like in-person communication is like we lose the ability to have like reciprocal conversations. So, you know, it's like you'll talk about, and I have this a lot with people that talk to me online, is they'll tell me about their problems, you know, and they'll yap about like whatever is going on in their life or what they find they want to share. But like nobody ever really asks you like how you're doing, right? Now, I know that because I said this, like Sun Spirit and Cobble will message me and be like, hey, how are you doing? And blah blah blah. That's not the point. You guys do actually ask me like how I'm doing. But there's a lot of people that just don't. And I think when you have that like just, oh, I'm gonna just message this person like right now and show them this thing, and then I'm not gonna talk to them again for like another like 3 days until I have another meme or something to show them. Um, you know, it's just it is a different type of communication. Because like if you're talking, like let's say you're out to eat with somebody, right? And you're just yapping away and you don't like throw any sort of like reciprocal like, you know, so like what have you been up to lately? You know, after you've yapped for like 20 minutes, like if you yap the whole time, then you know, you're a bad communicator, in my opinion, because like you're not having like a good reciprocal conversation, because like the other person wants to probably say something or, you know, respond to some of the things that you're talking about, but you know, I don't know where I was going with that. But my orange juice is done. I'm gonna let this dog in. She's not at the door, so she's probably stuck on something. She's been real bad about getting stuck on things, and the only way she knows how to go is forward. So like I'm trying to like pull the rope to like get her unstuck from whatever it is that she's stuck on, and she's like, I'm going this direction towards you, and I'm like, we need you to go backwards. And she's like, so forwards, that's the way I'm going, and I'm just gonna go and tie myself up even tighter. And then I'm like, all right, so then I gotta go get my shoes on, you know, go out there, unstick her, and then she still doesn't understand. And it is what it is. Sometimes this dog is really smart. Sometimes this dog is really, really stupid. But I hope you guys are doing really good. And if there's somebody you haven't talked to in a while and you want to talk to them, just shoot them a message. What's the worst that's going to happen? They just don't talk to you? That you already haven't been talking to for like 6 years? Oh, well. You know, you already kind of haven't been talking to them. So, I mean, I guess it's just status quo after that. But anyways, I'll catch you guys later. Take it easy, homies. Peace out.